Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your boy Animac from Anime Uproar, and welcome to a brand new episode of the One Piece Version podcast. Today, we are discussing the filler arc of the anime called the G8 arc. However, so many people wanted us to check it out, and I actually was looking forward to looking at the anime since I've been just reading the manga, so I thought it was very cool. And joining us to discuss this arc is the one and only Tekking 101.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for covering this arc, because I'm assuming you're not going to cover, you didn't cover, Rainbow Mist or all the other, filler.
No.
Yeah, or the Warship. Warship Island is okay, but
Warship
there's a lot
is pretty
of
bad.
There's a lot of ones like the one where they end up on Goat Island you probably wouldn't discuss, but I'm so glad you're talking GA, because it is, honestly, no kidding, probably one of the best filler arcs in all of anime, period. I love the way it's structured. Yeah.
Honestly, Tekking, and by the way, we also have Nux and Briggs.
Nux and Briggs!
Wherever they're at. There you go.
Yeah, they're here. But I just want to say that I don't even understand how the G8 is considered a filler arc when we get to meet the most underrated member of the Straw Hats,
It truly is.
Condoriano.
Con
Condoriano.
di Oriano.
Yeah, whose actual name, as we learn later, is Con di Oriano.
Damn.
Mhm.
I feel so
exactly.
bad for
That
him,
was a
man.
plot
Getting
twist.
amnesia. He was like a father to the crew. They treated him like
He
a
was.
son.
He truly was.
Bro, but
You know?
don't think that just because he got amnesia, he didn't know who he was. Because don't forget that later on in the arc, he accidentally shoots the portable bazooka at the Marines. He accidentally shoots down the cannon that was trying to shoot out the balloon.
Yep.
Condoriano, he's our
MVP.
boy,
MVP.
MVP.
And I mean,
absolutely.
no, I know spoilers and all, but I'm sorry, Animac. I got to tell you straight up, Condoriano, he's the one that guides the crew to Laugh Tale. That's how that
I
works.
mean, I don't even know what Laugh Tale is, but I believe it.
oh come on,
I
that was
believe
mentioned already.
It's called
No,
something different because of the translation
No, it's
errors.
because right.
It's
I
the
think
same word.
they
It's just
pronounce it
different
Raftel.
pronunciation.
Oh yeah, Raftel, I remember. Raftel.
Yeah,
I
they're,
remember.
damn, it's the same thing. Damn it.
It's the same. It's not a spoiler. It's
It's not.
Laugh
It's just the pronunciation of the word. But anyway.
But yeah,
Um,
Tekking, it's great to have you back, man.
yeah,
Because you,
yeah.
even when you're not on the podcast, you are always in the comments with people desperately asking where you are. So
That's my presence. Yes,
you're the
And we love
One
you.
Piece guy, bro.
I am the One Piece guy.
hello,
Hence
hi,
all this.
I'm the
Yeah.
One Piece guy.
Guy.
Oh God, anime. Anyway, the thing
Yo.
that I like most
Yo.
about this filler arc is that it actually fits in the story. It's not there all right, so the next 10 episodes are going to be individual flashbacks from different characters. Not fam.
Yes.
They're dropping out of Sky Island on that octopus. Where do they land? Like, that actually makes sense that, okay, they land in this crazy marine base. Like,
Yeah.
that's dope.
Because in
They
the
gotta
manga,
land
they
somewhere.
just landed a normal part of the ocean, and like, all right, we're just here now, and it's just like, no, this is actually taking a different angle with it, and I love it.
Yeah, and that actually, when they land in the ocean, that happens after the whole G8 stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. But I actually thought it was really heartwarming to see all the characters in anime form after 300 chapters of just doing the manga. So that was a little bit, tear-jerking for me. I really did appreciate it. Yes, this arc wasn't like super epic and emotional as some of the canon arc, other than Condoriano, but it was still a fun arc, and there's a lot of stuff I do want to talk about. And in terms of the character voices, because some people asked me how are the voices the way you picture them when you're reading the manga. So Luffy kind of sounds like Gon Fleeks if he was snorting G Fuel.
Did you just pronounce who?
This is a
Gon-
fleeks.
Hold on. Did you
Gon
say
is on
fleeks?
fleek. What can I say?
I know, right?
Gon is on fleek, bro.
Yeah.
Gon is on fleek, but it's freaks.
Freaks.
It's freaks. It's freaks.
I don't know, it's written Fleeks. You
Yeah,
almost
it's
never heard his last name.
R's and L's, yeah. R's and L's.
And,
like, yeah.
and I also thought that like Chopper kind of sounds like a Japanese e-girl. But
That's about right. That's about right. That's accurate.
That's good.
Bro,
But
I think
otherwise, I
the
thought-
absolute king of voice acting is Usopp, because this man screams
God.
almost as much as I do.
yes, but see, all the other guys, other than Chopper and Luffy,
It's great.
What-
I love him. You did that really well.
was that an impression? Because that just sounds like normal Nux.
That just sounded like you played part
That's
of
what
the
I'm
anime.
saying.
right
That's
there.
why they call me God Nux.
No one calls you that. Not anyone ever.
I call him
Anyway.
God Nux.
Thanks, Tekking.
Maybe Lord
Anyway,
Nuxanor, but God
So
Nux. No.
everyone's voices other than kind of Luffy seemed even crazier than I imagined, and Chopper's was very like feminine. Otherwise, all the voices made sense, and I liked them. And yeah, Robin was definitely really nice. Sanji, Zoro, Nami, they were all dope. And Usopp, yeah, like you knew he was that guy. He's always screaming, like he's screaming out of the page of the manga. You can
Screaming, don't give it up, Luffy.
Usopp.
So, key Usopp moment right there was when he said Coriandro guy was a member
It's
of the Straw Hats.
Condioriano.
Doriano,
I don't give a
Coriandro.
crap about that man, okay?
He was like a
Shame
son
on
to the
you.
crew. Come on.
He's like
He
a
is
son
the
father.
he is the keystone. He is the person that makes the Straw Hats who they are today. Not
Condiriandro to the Straw Hats is like the Leaf Village to Briggs.
Cody
Like a son to
Rano.
him.
He was like a son to me, man.
son to him.
Stan since day
Oh,
one.
by the way, in my notes, because I take notes, guys. I'm a professional. I literally had the words Usopp's voice is basically Nux.
See, boom. Look at that.
It's true. All right.
Oh,
so,
by the way, we
no,
should mention that, by the way, next week chapters we're reading from 303 to 321. We didn't mention in the beginning. And
Okay.
that's the Ronguringu Rongurendu Aruku.
oh man, two back to back.
Elvenars in that one.
I think this arc's better than Long Ring, Long Land.
Yeah.
I would, you know what? I would agree with you. Aside from the end of
Aside from the
Ronguringu Ronguraka, which is fire.
So okay, but coming
Yeah,
into
no,
this
yeah,
filler
well,
arc,
the ending is like, that's kind of its own little mini arc, honestly, because it's
Yeah.
like something a little different. But
I didn't even
yeah.
know it was part of the arc. Honestly, I remembered it.
Yeah,
I remember it was
they,
a great moment, but I never even remembered it was part of the Long Ring, Long Land.
yeah,
arc.
it is. It is. They handle it differently in the anime, though.
I just want to say that, like, going into the GA arc, you got to understand, like, why every other filler sucks. Like, at the end of the day, it's filler. It can't expand the story. Characters can't develop. The start of the filler arc and the end of the filler arc need to be in the exact same point because it's not canon, right? And that's why every other one sucks. Although there's one thing that's, like, uncharacteristic about this arc that's so beautiful. It almost takes into account what happened prior to the arc, and it looks on to what's happening in a future arc. Because a major theme is the fact that it's all about, like, the ship. The ship is injured, is damaged. They want to get the gold for the ship. The ship is like their home. They love it so much. You got the shipwright guy, the old man, and Usopp bonding about this ship and how much they love the ship, and that's an ongoing theme. And there's some other stuff they mentioned which I can't talk about, but like, it's just beautiful that they actually like made a filler arc that's relevant to the story.
Yeah, they have a moment where, like, Usopp's talking to the old man about the Mary, and he talks about the thing that he saw in Skypiea, the ghost. And the old man, he doesn't give him an answer, but he's kind of like, ooh, that might have been a...
And then he gets
And
cut
then that's
off.
all we
He
get.
gets
And that-
cut off.
Yeah, and that sets up later. I love it.
It's like they can't
Yeah,
they
so
can't
I have
actually
no
say
idea
it yet. They can't say it yet because that's a spoiler, and they can't talk about it or get into it. But they could mention it just a little bit. They could tease it, right? It's like, how can you make a filler
they
arc
could
that's
tease it.
so good and sets up stuff in the future?
I'll tell you what, every One Piece filler, it seems to follow, like, even the ones that are previous to this, it seems to have a basic premise of, like, the Straw Hats run across a really strong pirate crew or a marine, Luffy beats the crap out of him, calls it a day, and that's it. This one, they have the Straw Hats up against the Marines, but it's like, hey, wait a second, let's make this, like, tactical a little bit. Let's not have the boss of these Marines just be, I'm a really tough guy that's gonna fight you. Like, no, let's play this tactically, because Jonathan is a vice admiral, which is a really high rank in the Marines,
Yeah, I think it's the highest. Isn't that the highest Marine rank that we actually saw aside from Sengoku? Like for
yeah, we saw Sengoku already, and no, we haven't been introduced to any of the admirals yet.
Right. So he's actually he's the highest rank, bro. I never thought of that. He's the highest ranked admiral that we've seen Marine that we've seen so far. But
I thought it was a really great setup for this arc because, first of all, it's a cool concept. They're trapped in this maximum security base with like no way out. So
did you
it's
say
like, what do
base?
they do?
That reminds me, guys, slap like right now on the video.
Yeah, slap like for base.
Slap
Nice,
like.
good one. Nice.
I thought you'd.
I appreciate that interruption, and that's the only one I will ever appreciate.
I thought you'd like that. You're welcome. I'll interrupt more.
And yeah, so what you guys talked about there's a lot of references to Skypiea.
Mhm.
So they talk about it. They have the flashbacks. They have the dials, right? They're using the dials as part of this arc. It's a critical part of the arc. So whoever wrote this arc, the Treasure 2 clearly was trying their best to be consistent, and I do appreciate that. And yeah, so a lot of cool moments in this arc for sure. And please, can we talk about Jonathan's facial hair and his glorious
Oh,
mustache?
I was gonna talk
Oh,
about his
God.
mustache, bro.
The mustache is so elegant.
Yeah, it's like it's big, but it's like elegant. It reminds me of back in like the 1700s and 1800s, Serbian men all had mustaches like that while they were fighting the Turks. And I
yeah.
mean, respect.
Yeah, and he keeps it like fringed at the end. Like he probably spends like 2 hours every morning grooming his mustache. But I mean, there's nothing else to really do.
We pronounce it mustache.
Mustache. Yes.
Yeah, you guys from Pennsylvania really need to, learn the pronunciations.
Hey, Yin's talking about mustaches up in here. That's not how we talk. We say yins. We say yins a lot, but beyond that, yeah, I just made up that accent.
I know it sounded more like some Boston thing, but
Bastard.
it's all good. Yeah, so one thing that I really found funny was everyone was trying so hard to like hide and find a disguise, and they split up and all this stuff. Yeah. So even the completely careless, usually Luffy, was actually in the vents with Sanji, and then you have Zoro just casually walking with all three of his swords, just like who cares?
I mean, like, it's so funny because this base, as we find out, like the Marines there really don't have much to do. It's kind
I
of
like how you
just a
said
boring
base that way. That was epico. Slap like on this video now.
Bam! Smash that like button. All right, so are you gonna do that every time we say base? Because damn it,
I like how you said base.
The fortress, Navarone, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes they call it G8, sometimes they call it Navarone. But there's not much to do. So if your normal day here is just wake up and then just eat and just chill out on guard duty, if you see someone walking around, you're not immediately going to think, oh, you must be an intruder. Hey, wait a second.
Yeah, he was lulling all of them into a false sense of security.
Yes.
Would someone really just be walking around with 3 swords? Nah.
I know.
There was one scene where
that legendary dude Roronoa Zoro.
If I was at work and I saw someone walking with 3 swords, I wouldn't be messing with that guy. I wouldn't ask him.
The scene that I love is he walks into the base and there's a gear that's turning and he's on one side of the gear just walking casually. On the other side of the gear is like 20 guys all working hard and doing their thing. And he's just walking like looking around. And it's like I feel like I want to think he knows that they're there, but at the same time, it's like he has no care in the world. Just walk in and everything's working out.
Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned that because one of my favorite short moments in One Piece is this clip of Luffy walking behind that one guard. Like the guy's walking with a gun and Luffy's behind him, and every time he turns around, Luffy goes around and he's like making funny faces and putting his fingers up.
Yeah, and everyone's like, man, Luffy has no sense of tension.
No, he doesn't. He has attention deficit disorder, like bad. But my favorite episode in this whole arc, and I've watched it many times, it's the episode where Luffy and Sanji end up in the kitchen.
Yes, I was going to bring that.
I love that, because first off, you get to see Sanji cooking, actually properly. So that's really
here's
cool
the
to
thing.
see.
Aside from filler, he never gets to show off his cooking in, the entire story. There was this other cooking tournament in a different filler arc.
Yeah, Logtown arc had the cooking tournament. They actually made a whole soundtrack to that in the 4Kids dub.
Another reason why the GA arc is great filler. You give people time to shine that usually don't. Chopper takes over an ER in this filler. So Chopper and Sanji both get their time to shine, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Chopper willingly risked getting captured in order to save injured Marines. So that is, really noble, Hippocratic oath stuff, guys.
Dr. Giant Yeti person. We're glad that you're here all of a sudden to help us.
But yeah, for the Sanji scene,
by the
he
way,
ends up using...
Go
ahead.
I couldn't believe how many inspectors they sent at the same time to inspect G8. There was
they
three
sent
of them.
They sent these 2 guys from Marijois to there to cook, and then they also sent Condoriano there as for a base that really has nothing going on.
I like how you said base, Tekking. You said it with the
Damn it! All right,
it was cool. Everyone should slap on this video now. Epico.
I don't get the joke, but all right.
Giorno Giovanna has a base.
It's from a YouTuber called Davey.
Davey,
and he's a bass player.
He plays bass.
Oh, okay. Wait, damn it.
Slap now. When we get 100,000 subscribers on the Rant Cafe, Animac will reveal his left big toe.
No, but I will eat pineapple pizza.
Left big toe? Oh man.
Okay, so about the cooking scene, because I have specific things I want to talk about here before Luffy's carelessness gets him captured. But I loved when Luffy and Sanji, they first come in and they're like mistaken for those guys from the other place.
Marley Brothers, I think they're called. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they look at Jessica-san and they both look at her lustfully.
Yes.
But Sanji looks at her because she's hot, and Luffy looks at her because she's preparing meat.
Oh my god, that is a hot piece of meat right there.
Yeah.
Also, there's a woman behind it, but
No, yeah, Jessica pulled a boomer girl thing because Sanji was simping for her, and then she revealed that she had a husband. But it's all good. It's all good because Sanji has plenty of girls he simps for.
I understand this episode of One Piece made me want to have a hot boss named Jessica, and that actually ended up happening for me later in life. So everything worked out.
Everything worked out.
That's
See, the
because
thing-
you trusted in the base.
The thing with this whole thing, I thought that was very cool. That Sanji, so Sanji's simping is definitely more over the top in the anime. Like, you don't see it as much in the manga, but in the anime. However, the cool thing about Sanji is that he's a diversified simper, right? He's a diversified simp. So he'll simp a lot of chicks. So he's not gonna like depend on one.
Yeah, Sanji
if one
wrote the
rejects
book
him, he'll be
he
like,
wrote the book
Nami,
on
Robin.
simping. He has it,
Yeah, he diversifies, which is cool.
Yeah, he
Although-
has like here's 100 simping tips from Sanji Vince. Sanji Vinny is a great person from something. Yeah. I'm not
Pay no
trying
attention.
No.
completely unrelated person. Yeah.
I don't know his last name, so it doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't have one. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah.
Man.
Okay.
Okay.
He was born on that rock with Zeph, okay?
Just
That's
to
what happened.
change subject altogether. Back to the back to the cooking scene. That gave me some Food Wars vibes. Made me want to watch some Food Wars.
Bro,
Yo,
It
Sanji somehow
Big flex.
managed to make potato peels and bones and leftover fish meat and eyeballs and shit into delicious food that like
yeah, I thought that was a pretty huge flex.
huge flex. That's like
I
some
love
Food Wars level flex right there.
But it wasn't
wish
even
we
just
could
that
talk
one
about
episode, because Sanji's cooking scene it reverberates throughout the whole arc. Like, the kitchen staff and Jessica are truly affected philosophically by Sanji's cooking. Because they're like, okay, so they were trying to use the best part of the food, and he's like, no, we are here in a war zone. We
We ain't
be
wasting
using every
nothing.
part." Yeah, and then they all felt shamed that he was able to use everything and do it so well. And then in later episodes, they're like, man, he was a pirate, but he really showed us up. And like, can we use his recipes? Like, I don't know. Like, should we? Like, he really left an impact on them. I thought that was cool.
And
I love
it
it.
reflected on best filler arc of all time. Literally that cooking scene reflects on his backstory.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I love
Right?
it.
Which
Yeah, you
I
can tell
apparently
the person-
don't know.
No,
You can tell
this is the one where he like starved. You know that
yeah,
one.
We already found out his backstory. Yeah.
Okay, you mean him being in
On
the
the
restaurant?
rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the rock.
And
Yeah.
After being born on that rock.
After being born on that rock. Yeah. Anyway,
It's not a
but
boulder.
no,
It's a rock.
it's a boulder. It's a rock.
In the chat,
It's a rock.
Sanji will use his trusty frying pan as a simping pan.
But no, you can. Oh my god.
So
Nux, really?
I had to say it. I'm sorry.
Hey, Nux, I really like the way you said bass. So,
I also like bass. Smash like epico.
all right.
Earlobe
anyway,
reveal coming soon.
Slap
Anyway,
like.
like you can tell like there's different like when they come up with certain filler arcs, there's just like whatever, it's not a big deal. They don't put that much thought into it. You can tell whoever wrote this, and I don't know who wrote it, unfortunately. I don't have that much encyclopedic knowledge. But you can tell they actually sat down and they thought about the individual characters. It's almost like they gave the job to like fans of One Piece and they wrote like a filler that they would like or something.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
that
almost
kind
like
of
the guy who wrote the filler was actually familiar with the show.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Not to roast
I don't
every
think-
other filler ever. but...
I don't like Oda has a little bit involved with pretty much any like even with fillers. I think they at least address a few things like, hey Oda, we want to use this devil fruit. Is that okay? And he'll like give them the pass or fail. So he might have passed some stuff through him, but I don't know how much. Yeah.
All in all, though, I really like Jonathan as a villain because one thing that
Antagonist.
Yeah, he's not a villain.
antagonist.
He's really
You're right. Antagonist. You're right. But the thing I like about him, and I mentioned this to Briggs yesterday, is the fact that for the most part, when we get an antagonist, they're evil.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
the overwhelming majority of antagonists. So you had Crocodile trying to take over a country, and Nell, trying to basically fry the entire Skypiea.
Yeah.
Bellamy, who was just a massive asshole. Arlong, who is this racist creature. You got, what's his name? Don Krieg, who just wanted to his name is Krieg, okay? That's German for war, all right? This man, he's not selling teddy bears.
Yeah.
Well, you forgot the most fierce and clearly well thought out of all, Kuro from the.
I didn't
Hello
forget.
Kitty
I was
Pirates.
getting there. I was working my way back.
Genius Kuro of 100 plans.
Yeah, this
Headbutted
man
and
who's
just knocked out.
right.
And his one plan that he did 3 years failed. Anyways.
Yeah, Syrup Village, not the strongest arc. But the point
No,
is,
but you're right.
even
Nux, you're
even
right.
the Marines that we met as antagonists, like Axe Hand Morgan, like
Yeah.
that dude,
He was a dick. He was an
he was
egomaniacal
a
dick.
huge dick. Smoker at first was much more antagonistic towards, but he grew, like he developed.
Yeah.
As time went
Smoker
on.
is just like Morgan was like, you will build statues to my honor. Smoker's just like, I'm a Marine. I'm gonna bring in the pirates. That's what I literally do.
Well, that's
I'm
what a
not
lot of them-
evil. That's what I do.
What I like about
We
Jonathan.
can't forget Wapol, guys.
So the reason why I'm
Wapol.
bringing this up, Wapol, like
Yeah. Wapol was a dude.
corrupt
Yeah.
bastard. But the point is, he's pretty much the first antagonist, aside from Smoker, like after we got to know Smoker. He's the first antagonist that is introduced to the series as a genuinely good guy.
So all the other antagonists are either evil or like have some deep flaw, like they're egomaniacs or whatever.
Mhm.
But he's just a guy who happened to be there, and he's
a
and, like,
Marine.
the-
And pirates,
the cool-
they pillage and rape and whatever. They do like
the
that.
cool thing
Yeah.
about them, though, the cool thing about Jonathan is that you can tell that he genuinely respects the Straw Hats and their
yeah.
determination and their accomplishments and everything. So it's like he doesn't hate them; he respects them, but it's his duty to try to find them. So yeah, it was definitely a cool dynamic, and Jessica's a cool character, so them two together are pretty awesome. Yeah.
It's adorable. And it's funny because Jonathan, he has that whole chessboard thing, and he's like this calm and contemplative sort of like tactician. And I think part of him thinks that Luffy is also this genius tactician. Like, this will be a game of wits between me and the captain of the Straw Hat crew.
And meanwhile, Luffy from across the room is trying to steal his meatballs.
Yeah, he had like this chessboard, but in the end, that chessboard wasn't really significant.
You're just
was
like,
just kind of a
I
flop.
see you're a carefully adept captain. You have a bounty of 100 million. Sit across from me, and we shall see how. And Luffy's just
Well, I feel like Luffy's whole thing in this arc was he had no tension, and he even says to Jonathan, like, I will leave when I want to leave. I come when I want, I leave when I want, I eat what I want, like, I do what I want. I'm a fucking pirate, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. No, but the one thing I wanted to say about Jonathan that I loved, I feel like a lot of Marines in the series, they achieve their rank through strength, right? They get their position because they're a strong person. And a lot of times they're very rash. Oh my god, it's the Straw Hats! Let's chase after them and fight them with physical power. Versus Jonathan, I feel like he achieved his rank, and it's perfect for having a huge base.
I like how you
And,
said base,
Mustache.
Rigo. Checkmate. He says checkmate! Bro!
Yeah, he does.
Jonathan is Davy.
So, like, but he didn't achieve... He's not
Checkmate.
rash. He didn't achieve his strength.
Flappers.
Slap that like button. Okay. He didn't achieve his rank because of his strength per se. We don't really know. It's more because he's able to lead his men in a smart way. And one thing I loved about him was his patience, right? Like, he knew right away that Robin was not the inspector. Like, when he was going through his check, he's not an idiot. He knew right away, but he let her do her thing because then she went and found the map. And then he used the fact that she had the map to his advantage, right? Or he knew what Luffy's goal was. They needed to get to the ship. So it's like anything they do in between here and the ship is kind of irrelevant. Let them do what they want. Let's set up a trap for them near the ship or on the way. Let's lead them this direction. And like it was really beautifully done.
Yeah, it's almost like he can use his brain and stuff. Like Robin walks in, is like, okay, that's clearly Nico Robin in disguise. I know who she is. It's pretty obvious, you know. But yeah, it's almost like it's almost like how Marines and the Navy work in our world. Because when you become an admiral in the Marines, it's not because you're the biggest, buffest Marine. It's because you're smart and you know how to lead your base
Bro, I like how you say base. It's epico. Slap like now. But I think
Okay,
at
nice.
the end of this arc, you know what we need? Therapy time to get this video to 10 minutes long.
Okay, next. Listen, I really liked in chapter 201, Jonathan's facepalm after Drake like hits their own base with the cannon.
Base.
Bro, that was one of the best facepalms I've ever seen in anime. Like, it is so funny. Episode 201. Wow.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Yo, if it wasn't
He
for
slapped
Condi
his own
Oriano, they would have been
face,
screwed. What's it called?
He
Even when
slapped
they
his own face.
even when they trapped them near the vault, like how would they have gotten out? They were locked in from the outside.
Yeah,
If it wasn't for
exactly.
Condi Oriano, he kind of already had half of them trapped.
I'm
It's
telling you,
almost
man.
like in order for them to like they created an antagonist that was too good, so they're like, oh crap, how are the Straw Hats supposed to actually get out of this? Oh well, let's introduce a few inept like people that work at the base and have them screw everything up, and then
Jeez.
they're yeah. Damn it! I didn't even try to do it that time.
Let's just start saying Fortress because Nux is so mature.
Yeah,
that
I'm
he'll
gonna
keep
try.
doing
I'm
this.
gonna try to Fortress.
You know,
But yeah, it's
tres
like-
is 3 in Spanish.
Yeah. Jonathan's too strong. Let's introduce Condoriano to get everybody out of there. That's the only way we can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 203 also had some really cool merry-go flashbacks. So they call it. I noticed that they call it the going merry-go. So sometimes they abbreviate it as merry-go. Sometimes going merry.
That's
Yeah.
how they pronounce it.
Yep, that's exactly how they pronounce it. Yep.
That's how Usopp pronounced it. But I don't know. I don't think everyone else does. The
Bro,
point
I
is,
love
like, it has-
Usopp's voice. It's so good.
as someone who hasn't actually watched the anime, I thought it was cool that we got a bunch of like the key moments from the story, kind of in flashback mode. So we had Nami deciding to join the crew. We had Skypiea. We had them going up into the Grand Line. There was a lot of cool stuff, so I appreciated that a lot. And even in the intro, the current intro to the anime, you see flashbacks of all of their backstories, like Nami's and Sanji's and everyone's. So I appreciated that as well.
This one's Bon Voyage, right? They're still in Bon Voyage.
Bon
the fourth one.
voyage.
Yeah, that's my least favorite opening.
I
I like the English variation of that one a lot.
I mean, all One Piece openings are good, but if I was gonna pick like a least favorite, it's probably that one. I don't listen to that one too much.
Truth is, I think my favorite One Piece opening is a bit underrated. It's actually the second opening.
I Believe is amazing. I love that one. Yeah.
You're copying me right now, Nux. So you're kidding, right?
No, you say that too?
Yeah,
No.
all the time. I love that one.
Oh my god, no
Believe is
way!
amazing.
People always rip on me for loving that one. I thought you were making fun of me there.
No, I never heard anyone like that
Dude,
opening. I
that's
hear
what-
everyone saying like 15,
Great.
16 are the best.
Dude,
I love the Japanese version. I love the English version. Those are both great. Yeah.
Oh my god! Briggs, you're a man
We
of
all
culture.
got to believe. Okay, and
Thanks,
my
bro.
favorite is the sixth one, Brand New World. That's a good one.
It's a brand new.
Stop me up.
You gotta change your
so-
sensitivity on your Discord, bro, because anytime you hit too high of a pitch, it just cracks and we can't hear you.
Wait, so you're saying you didn't get to hear me do the
No,
Usopp
we heard you. We heard you.
No.
Here, I'll do it
Yeah.
again.
We still heard too much. We still heard
We
too
heard
much,
enough.
but you do cut off.
So,
Um,
Animac, I feel like we kind of really glossed over the ship kind of fixing itself on Sky Island, and they readdress it here. Did we talk about that
Yeah.
in the first episode of?
I think we did talk about it, but yeah, I'm confused as to what happened because I know. So the ship was fixed, and on top of that, the wings were taken off.
Yeah.
And this is after the ship gets burned, and then we have like a flashback in this arc to that when Chopper's like, "Bro, why am I watching the ship again? Last time it got burned." So
For all purposes, all you need to know for right now is there was that ghostly figure that Usopp saw. We don't know what that is yet.
And the rest of the
Yeah,
crew
the
does not
ship is
believe
doing-
him.
a dude
Yeah,
hitting
and
the
the-
camera, yeah.
Yeah.
And the ship was repaired, but it wasn't repaired perfectly. It was kind of like haphazardly repaired, and it got returned to the way it originally looked before the flying gear was put on. That's all we know right now.
Yeah, and then in this arc, they were talking about taking it to like an actual professional like repair shop thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this arc, you get the beginnings of like, hey, the Straw Hats should probably get like a ship repairman. or
Man,
something.
wouldn't it be a boring arc if we had a whole arc just talking about like finding a guy to repair the ship? Wouldn't that be boring?
Yeah, that would suck.
No, that actually wouldn't be boring at all. I would love that. That would be amazing.
Dude, we straight up have it, and it's like one of the best arcs in the whole story.
Short is-
You didn't need to reveal that, Nux.
Not the next one. after that. Yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah,
a
in this
shipwright,
arc,
that's what they called it.
yeah, in this arc, they mentioned that they want a shipwright and of course a musician.
A musician.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
And everyone's like,
musician's
"No,
been
Luffy, what the fuck?"
Yeah, Luffy's been
Luffy's the
wanting
one
a magician.
pushing it, and everyone's like, "What are you talking about?"
Pirates like to sing, man.
So let me say again. What else? Yeah, so I did like again the setup of them being in this huge fortress, and then Nami's decision to go back for the treasure was completely insane, and yet so unexpected that you're like, this is so crazy, it just might work. Because they had, the all clear, they could have left. There's this fog, and they're like, "Yo, let's turn back into the like." These guys would never expect this. The Marines would never expect anyone to be crazy enough to now that they finally got away. After these impossible odds, they turn around and go back and hide in the fortress and try to get their gold back. I thought that was like so crazy that it actually might work.
Thank you, Jack is boy, for the raid. Very cool. We love you, bro.
Jack is boy, what up,
Jack.
BB?
And there was one thing I didn't like about this arc, so when you guys are ready, I can say that.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, go for it, man.
And it's not just this arc, it's kind of like might be an issue with One Piece in general, but it was annoying to me how ineffective guns are in general. And even when there's like hundreds of guns firing at the same time, it doesn't matter. Like nothing happens.
Yeah,
now
that does happen more in the anime. I'll give it to you.
okay.
Much more in the anime.
Because the thing is,
Yeah,
it's like they have worse aim than the Star Troopers,
yeah.
in Star Wars.
Star Troopers. Yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
Rick and Morty flexed so hard on Star Wars in the latest episode, dude.
God, it was so great. I loved it.
But
And the problem with this, the reason this is a problem.
You remember?
Hold on, Nux. The reason that this is a problem to me is that you have these emotional and powerful scenes like Bellemir's death where she was shot, right? So it's like, yo, this is a big deal. But then you have all these other scenes where guns are completely meaningless and comical, so it almost cheapens.
Bellemere is a normie.
It's almost like they use just like to lengthen scenes out more. Like, hey, we need like an extra 2 minutes of filler.
I remember
there
was a filler arc.
Fire at the straw hats for 2 minutes and just like boo boo boo. We need to get out of here,
dude.
That happens a lot.
You're a bit of a mad lad when it comes to One Piece filler. What was the filler arc?
I do dabble every once in a while.
You dabble with filler. What was the One Piece filler with the dragons?
Rainbow?
Yeah, the Warship Island arc. Yeah.
Oh, Warship.
Was that called Warship Island? And they were chased by like this massive fleet, and they were all shooting cannons, and like literally all the cannonballs were missing their ship like the entire time.
Yep. The only time, I mean, sometimes you'll have Luffy use his balloon to bounce them away, or sometimes you'll have Zoro or Sanji like kick or cut them. But yeah, there's so many times in the story. I can't tell you the name of the arc, but there is one arc in the anime where it does it really, really, really bad, where you have like 10 battleships firing at the ship, like one. A lot more should be hitting,
Yeah, and a lot of the time they're just like aiming, but they don't shoot. It's like, we're gonna shoot you. It's like, why aren't you shooting? We're gonna shoot you so hard.
I think the problem is
Plan B. Eat lead, murderer. Hold your fire. This man isn't black.
Oh God. It's a manga about pirates and marines and stuff, so a lot of times you'll have like in real life you'd have like naval combat. Naval combat in like a manga might not be that interesting, so that's why they don't do it that
It's like
often.
hours long and like
It's
very
impersonal.
precise.
Yeah, and so they don't do it that often in the story.
Another thing
But the thing is,
this,
I'm
this
thinking that they might not even need guns in this case. Maybe it might just be like, yo, let's just do devil fruit or swords or whatever, because it seems to just kind of cheapen it.
Yeah, anytime that anyone ever even gets shot with a gun, it's always Luffy, and it's just like, I'm rubber, so it doesn't matter. You'll never see Nami get shot with a gun. It's just never going to happen. Or Usopp.
But
get
also,
tagged at the arm.
I mean,
Never
it's
gonna happen.
kind of spoilery, but Animac knows hockey exists, and once that's introduced, it does explain a lot.
Yeah, it does. It does, but at the same time, there's other problems with it. But we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also another thing worth noting for the G8 base anyway,
Base.
they did not want to kill the Straw Hats. They wanted to capture
No.
them. There was many
that was
times
the
where they
goal.
shot warning shots, or they would be like,
Yeah.
like kind of turn yourself in type of thing, because they didn't want to shoot at them. And the couple times that they did shoot, Luffy actually pushed this other Straw Hats away, and then like reflected the bullets because he's rubber and stuff. It's still
and
there was
then
a
they
couple
did
scenes
that
that were
whole-
dumb, but I agree.
They did that whole hostage thing, which I get that, but maybe they should have just had like a hostage the whole time, and then it would have made more sense.
Yo,
That would've made true, but-
I loved the
So you
hostage scene with Chopper.
Yeah,
Dude, I love that. I
he's
love
like,
that scene.
I will slaughter these two women. I will slit their throats. And they're
I'll
like,
do
"Whoa,
it.
Chopper,
I'll
relax."
do it. I swear.
And like the
know,
combination.
Everyone's like, "Great job, Chopper! You're convincing them." And Luffy's like, "Chopper, how could you?"
Yeah, exactly.
I
Dude.
never knew you would be like this.
I loved the dynamic because Chopper was so out of character, pretending to be this ruthless killer. I'll slaughter them, trying to be badass. And Zoro like agrees with him. Yeah, he's a ruthless killer, kind of making fun of him too at the same time. Like he was smiling. And then Luffy's just so He's like, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, man.
I love that
Luffy's not
moment.
smart, guys. He's
I think
not.
the pirate life would warp you like it did Chopper. Oh god.
I don't know. I think people aren't giving Usopp the recognition he deserves. I think when he said that Condriandro was
Condoriano.
when he said that when he said that he was a member of the Strats, I was dying. That's
Yeah.
one of the funniest moments in One Piece.
Also,
And it's a filler.
there's also a funny moment where
Um,
what's it called? He uses the shell or the thing from
Yeah,
Sky
the
Sky
dial.
Island.
The dial.
And it was a smell dial, and Luffy put his fart in it, and then that caused the fire to
Yeah.
blow up, and that's how they escaped.
Who put their farts in this? Luffy's like, "Sorry, man."
I'm so glad they really utilized dials in this arc.
Yeah, that was cool because it was consistent with what just happened, and we know that
Yeah.
Usopp did get a bunch of dials because he traded them for like those.
Rubber bands.
Rubber bands of
Rubber band,
doom.
yeah.
Rubber bands. Yeah. They
No,
don't have rubber
it's
in
like-
the sky.
In the sky, they're all like, "Come, gather round, children. See this rubber band?
Hey,
This defeated God."
Yeah, if they had rubber, now they have all the rubber upstairs in the Skypiea. They won't be able to. Eneru, if he ever comes back, there's no problem. You're good. You're set.
Facts.
No, yeah, it was definitely a fun arc. Like I said, no like epic moments like in the.
I
canon
like how
stuff,
you
but
said
still fun and
epico.
cool.
I mean,
Epico.
I liked when they finally let's talk about how they finally escaped. I love the whole thing with like, hey, we're gonna use the octopus balloon again, and hey, Usopp, you're gonna have to like impact his like propulsion off the ground because they drained all the water. That was a pretty epic moment. I like.
And can we talk about the fact that the octopus was in Luffy's pants the whole time?
Yeah, he just kept it in his pants.
For 10 episodes of
Like-
the filler arc, he's like, yeah, this thing saved us.
Luffy's kinkier than we thought, bro.
Oh god, it must have been just like, yeah, worming. Oh god, ugh.
And it's like, and
I
they're
like. I don't like
isn't that
that
Animac,
gooey
and
stuff.
only Animac will appreciate this joke, but you can't say octopus without puss.
Nah, I got that too.
Come on, Animac. That's a typical your humor joke.
Anyway, listen.
Oh, this is so
I
sad.
did think it was funny because they're like, Luffy, wasn't that like uncomfortable? It's like, wasn't what uncomfortable? Like he just doesn't know what they're talking.
Maybe because he's made of rubber, he doesn't feel anything like that. It's
Yeah,
just,
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's just
Luffy
the boss.
dissipates.
Also, I
grew
always
up
feel
on-
like Luffy.
I grew up on Fuchsia Village. I kept octopi in my pants all the time growing up.
I kind of get the feeling that Luffy is taller in the anime than I thought he was in the manga, but maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just tripping.
He's like 5'8", I think, something like that. You think I'd know? I
Still
don't.
taller than Devin and Techie.
Hold on, I just pulled that out of my ass. Hold on, let me actually go and check.
I'm guessing he's 5'7".
He is. All right, at this point in the story, before the time skip, he is 91 centimeters, which is 5'7" 3/4. Okay, I was a
So you were
quarter of an
close.
inch off.
Very close.
But you were
Quarter of an inch off. He's still taller than me
Still
by about.
taller than Teching.
He's still 2 inches taller than I am. Yeah.
But yeah, so overall, guys, definitely glad we did watch this arc. And I think Jessica and Jonathan and Condoriano are epic characters that I hope will come back. Especially Condoriano.
Well, of
Who I
course,
think-
Contoriano's gonna come back.
I think in chapter 1000, I don't know what's happening in the story, but I think that around
We're at
chapter 1000,
979. We're getting close to 1,000.
yeah, we're going to finally learn that the whole Condoriano thing was an epic plot.
I mean,
by
that's been
Usopp.
set up.
and
This
it's-
arc that we're in the manga right now, it has been set up. So I think that's
Yeah,
probably
so-
going to happen.
Yeah, we're gonna realize that the whole thing of him being a inspector was just a act, and there's a lot more going on. A lot more. I mean, there's like an invisible guy fixing shit. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
I love how Sanji's 5'10", and literally 5 of those feet are his legs.
Yeah, they are. Like, yeah, 10 inches of his body and then 5 feet for his legs.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Nux is 5'10", and it's a pure upper body because he doesn't have legs, obviously.
Hell yeah, that's me.
He has feet. He just doesn't have legs.
Oh, is he like Buggy? Like he can
Bro,
just got those
I
2 feet
love
following
Buggy.
around him.
I mean, it's kind of a disrespect to Buggy that when I was talking about previous antagonists, I didn't talk about him, to be honest. But he far outshines everything else in the series.
Oh, really? I thought you would have been like, that's because he's a protagonist, you fools.
Yeah,
no,
I mean, like, if I was
clearly
ever gonna do
not.
top 10,
He is Luffy's #1 rival to become Pirate King.
Bro, I have
like, if I, was
I
gonna
have
do
my
a
money
top 10
on
these
Buggy.
antagonists, you just say Buggy automatically
People saw
number
my
one. I can't
tweet, and then so many people replied to that tweet. I tweeted out, when Buggy becomes Pirate King, remember this tweet. And I got so many people replying saying like, oh my god, now that you said it, I actually think that it's going to happen.
Dude, Buggy has no interest.
I mean, hey,
Never mind.
you never know with Oda. You never know with Oda.
Raph's Revenge in the chat says the anime butchered this arc. I agree. The
Nice.
Dojin is much better.
Yeah, fact.
It is. Yeah, the Dojin, you have a scene with Jonathan and Jessica. It gets pretty steamy, and then there's that scene with Condoriano and Usopp that also gets pretty intense. Yeah.
And when you say steamy, you mean because
Get ready
Sanji's
for a
there.
face battle!
You were
Okay.
oscillating there for a little bit at the end. I don't even know how you did that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Nux, but I
This
think
is
this
so
is a good
sad.
time. This is a good time to call it a night because Nux is just getting crazier and crazier by the moment.
We
Epic.
gotta read
And,
reviews though.
Oh yeah, okay, Nux,
No!
please read reviews.
All right,
Read the reviews, Nux.
We can read the reviews, but for those of you who are not staying for the reviews, even though you totally should, thank you for joining us. And yeah, it's gonna be. It was a fun arc. Now we're going back into the manga chapters. Nux, you said 302 to 321.
I think so. Something like that. You want me to go check again?
It'll be in the
I can.
YouTube description.
It's 303 to 321.
Oh yeah, 303 to 320. Correct. 302 was the last one we read.
Very good, anime. I'm glad you
Arc
paid.
in the manga. It's a good thing you're reading the manga of Long Ring Long Land because they like double the size of it. in
Oh, the
They
anime
add-
is yeah.
It's half canon, and then they're like, well, let's just do it again, but anime. So they just add extra anime episodes to it. It
Yeah.
takes forever.
Dude, I'm actually looking forward to reading it because I've only ever watched it and it was terrible.
I'm looking
reading
forward
it-
to reading it because I never actually read or watched it. Ever.
It's better to read it. Yeah.
Anyway, the first review, Pikachu is a better antagonist than Enel confirmed. 5 stars. Pikachu would be a way better opponent for the Straw Hats, and here's why. 1. Both Pikachu and Enel are both effectively useless when it comes to lightning attacks and can be defeated by a pair of rubber gloves. 2. Pikachu does not need to use a metal rod. He can use the power of the Pokemon anime to learn Iron Tail. 3. Pikachu has sent people flying with his electric attacks. Have you ever seen Enel send someone blasting off again? No. Enough on that. Love the podcast. Look forward to seeing the virgin known as Animac with the C go through every podcast not knowing that the true best girl in One Piece has yet to come. This is one of the best podcasts in Zawardo. No, he actually said in the world. And then he said, and you know I'm serious because they said the world, not Zawardo. Very cool. Blade of JoJo. Thank you.
Also,
Yeah, by the way, just to fill you in, thank you for the review. Just to fill you in teching, I've been standing Nami hard. I really like her. She's my favorite Straw Hat so far.
I mean, I love Robin, but Nami number 2, maybe 3. I don't know, but top 3.
I mean, I agree, top 3.
For that review, good arguments. Argument number 5, counter argument actually. He lost to a level 1 Snivy, so no.
Oof. Get
That moment
Pete.
That
ruined,
moment, yeah.
it pissed me
But
off.
you don't-
It-
that level 1 Snivy could kick your ass, though. I mean, that.
Now speak for
Damn.
yourself.
It is true though. In the chat,
I wouldn't
guys,
mess with Snivy.
on the last One Piece version video, we had more electrical engineering debates because after I said the stuff last time of people criticizing the whole volts amps thing, other people said, no, that is wrong. It's wrong to say that volts don't kill, amps do, because volts determine the amount of amps. So there
Dude.
was like a whole debate thing, technical stuff going on.
Every
crazy.
time, I love it and I hate it whenever I talk about technical stuff. I actually, because I talk about like when I was talking about Enaru's Devil Fruit, it's just like, okay, I don't know anything about electricity, so this is going to be a whole thing. But yeah,
Yeah, we're all regular Nikola Teslas over here, boys.
We are. Yeah.
But yeah, so go ahead, Nux.
Speaking of Tesla, bro, there should be a One Piece character named X Ash A12. That would be fire.
That's how you say it? X Ash A12. Okay, cool. I needed to know. I learned that from Nux.
Happy to help. Happy to help.
Thank you.
Anyway, the next review! Mac and Jim! 5 stars! I really appreciate you guys going through this 20-plus year journey. I started watching One Piece back on Toonami, dropped it because the 4 kids yayo, and picked it up again 10 years ago and haven't put it down since. I've been revisiting the manga and anime with you guys and hearing the deep philosophical discussion every week just shows how so tight-knit, for the most part, Oda's writing is, and I honestly can't wait for you guys to discuss 3D2Y. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
You need to
Another
be an
SJ fan. Sorry?
You need to be an auctioneer, Nux. You have a good voice for it.
Thanks, fam. Thanks, fam. Next review is Wham and Weeb, 5 stars. When a podcast makes you want to read One Piece from the beginning, you know it's good. From a Wham and Weeb to you mad lads, stay weird, fam, and don't worry, even weebs can get waifus IRL and turn their waifus into Wham and Weebs. True story. Thank you, Blind Thestral. Very awesome.
Not even sure what was said there. I'm not sure what was said.
Cool.
I just know they said very awesome. That's all I know. That's all I heard.
I said very awesome. That wasn't in the review.
No, it was Barry.
Wow, now I'm completely lost. Then I'm completely lost.
All right, anyway. Next review from the real Jean-Pierre Paul Narefe. 5 stars. Wow, 10 out of 10. Best podcast I've ever listened to. It's even better than the Ben Shapiro Show or CNN's Jim Acosta. I am...
That's yeah.
Dude, I don't think anyone on the planet listens to both Ben Shapiro and Jim Acosta. Like, that doesn't work.
If you're just like a masochist, then yes.
I can't imagine someone actually listening to both of those unironically.
I don't think Jim Acosta has his own show, as far as I know. I think he just like goes out and like asks questions that are charged with amps.
I don't listen to
Political
either of
amps.
them, so I wouldn't know. I know who Ben Shapiro is. I don't really know who Jim Acosta is.
He's like a CNN reporter, but like I don't watch CNN, so I don't know if he has his own show or not. But,
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, not me.
Yo, but you don't understand the humor of the fact that they're like complete opposites.
Yeah, they are like one is left, the other is right.
I'm not a political guy, Nux. I'm sorry.
All right. Anyway,
He only understands the politics of One Piece, the politics that matter.
Yeah, I
There
can
we
do a
go.
video on the politics. I have before, but yeah, I don't know much about the politics of the world. I don't know.
Yeah, real world sucks. Anyway, next, moving on. I am so glad that I listened to Lord Nuxanor and tuned in. I started reading along at SkyPN, couldn't stop. I am now at Ennis Lobby, and One Piece is so much better than I remembered. One Piece is the first manga in Zawarudo that I read as a preteen, where my brother brought some home from school. Thank you, Nacho Feel. Very awesome. Next review from the real Simpanito, 5 stars. Hello, I am Simpanito, writing a review for this amazing podcast, and I am here to announce that I am releasing a One Piece Virgin T-shirt line. What? The first 500,000 people to DM me at hashtag MyHeroAcademia at least 5 times will receive their very own free One Piece Virgin shirt. You can find me on.
I am there.
You can find me on Twitter at Evident0.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna win those shirts, man.
Nux, this is what your memes do to people.
Bro, I love memes. They're great, man. You just
By the
don't-
way, thank you guys for
Free.
over 100 patrons already on the Rank of Fame Patreon.
that's
Really
and for those of you that can't count, that's over 100.
over 100.
Over
Wait.
what? 100.
Tekking's all with it right now.
What is it over?
Tekking agree.
I kind of missed that.
Like
100.
1,000
Over 100.
Okay, cool.
at
It's
least.
over 10. Somewhere between 10 and a trillion. I don't know where.
It's a lot, and we
Give or-
appreciate you. Thank
Give
you.
or
guys.
take. Next review, where is my free Anime Uproar shirt? 5 stars. Yup, guys are all so great. This podcast is one of the high points in my week. My favorite part of this, the intro, is Nux and Briggs, and there's Animac with a CK. Damn, needs to get better at the art of plug. But overall, you are amazing.
He's
Very
mastered the art of plug, honestly.
Dude,
Yeah, I know. Like, you should just see all the plugs that I have on my Twitter at Anime Uproar. It's crazy.
Nice, very cool, Animac. We're proud of you. Next review. Glad we got more Rant Cafe. Khalifa equals best waifu. Also, Nux should give you the world from Carol and Tuesday, but every time they say the world, replace it with Zawada. Oh my god.
Khalifa, isn't that how Briggs says Killua?
Pretty much.
That's actually not a bad call. Not a bad call.
I mean, I say it right. You guys all say it wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Kahlua.
Yeah, that's a drink. It's a coffee-based alcoholic drink.
It's a drink and also a character from Hunter x Hunter.
Honestly,
oh
though,
my bad, Hunter times Hunter. It's a character from Hunter times
I
Hunter.
didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know when his name was revealed because I knew eventually he did like he has lightning powers. So I'm like, is it Killua like kilowatt or is it Killua because kill? I'm like probably because of kill.
Well, it's definitely not Kahlua. It's not Kahlua.
Neither.
I mean, to be fair,
It's honestly neither technically.
sorry with the
Kahlua.
the hot takes. Kahlua sucks. It's way too sweet. It tastes like medicine.
No, it does. Yeah, I agree with you.
I've never had it. I just watched the character.
Like it's like, I don't know. What do you even drink that with? Like with coffee or something?
You
I
don't
know.
drink. You don't drink it. Period. The
Yeah.
end. You do not drink it.
You
It's,
don't drink it. You just watch. You watch it. You watch the character.
you watch
Yeah, drink
Kahlua.
Saint Remy cognac like every decent human being.
I'd rather drink Killua's skateboard than Kahlua.
Yeah, you need to drink this very specific iced tea that is only sold in my area, and if you don't, I think less of you.
Western PA Kool-Aid.
Thanks, Tech King. We love you too.
Well, yeah.
Next review, a Nell level podcast, 5 stars. Is this podcast amazing? Yes. So amazing! I am writing this review on my girlfriend's account so I can rate it 5 stars again, making this technically the first 10-star review in history.
Nice.
Wow.
Well done.
By the way, I am the small YouTuber from the past review, Tyler Doe. Thank you everyone for checking out my channel. And don't worry, I'll be on the One Piece Virgin next week. See, Nuck said it, so it must be true. Bam.
You know, that is how you plug, bro.
Well
That's a
done.
good-
That
Yeah.
shit that I do.
I
That is how
respect.
you plug.
Cannot say thank you enough for brightening up my week a little bit every week. This podcast is a quarantine must-watch. Tyler Doe on his girlfriend's account. Very cool.
Thank you, Tyler.
Nice.
And we have someone in the chat saying that Eastern PA is better than Western PA teching. So shots
I
fired.
don't deny that. That's where Philly is. That's where Scranton is. That's where pretty much everywhere is. You know, Western PA just has like Amish.
Teching,
Lots of
if we're ever allowed to leave our houses again and I'm in the neighborhood, I'm gonna get some of your iced tea.
Come on down. We could eat at a few restaurants that are currently not open, but we could hang out.
The hype is real. All right, next review. Weekly highlight for a weeb like me, 5 stars. Absolutely love this podcast. This is my favorite story, and it's so nostalgic to experience again for the first time through Animag with a C. You guys are amazing and use my exact humor. I especially love the guests you have occasionally, too. Never miss an episode of this Rant Cafe. Cannot wait for Impel Now, Never Stop, X.
Never stop,
Okay.
never stopping.
Never
Yes.
stop, never stopping.
That's a good movie, man.
It's hilarious.
Next review. Robin is best girl, 5 stars. Always great to hear the weekly opinions of Animilf spelled with a C.
It's spelled with a MILF, you fool.
You wrote Animilf with a C.
Animilf with a MILF.
That's
It's
funny.
spelled with a Y.
Funniest shit I've ever seen. On one of my favorite series. Can't wait until we hit the Water 7 arc, as it is my favorite. Next. Greatodes, 5 stars. I love these podcasts because I'm almost fought up. That's what it says. But not quite. And it's great to remember the early arcs through you guys. My siblings has given me death threats if you catch up before me. You guys are both great YouTubers and streamers. Oh, both great YouTubers and streamers. They thought they were only referring to 2 of us, but then it turns out no, they respect us for our
Thank you.
epicness.
Thank you.
The streaming
Anyway-
capabilities. Congrats, Briggs,
Anyway,
by the
funny.
way, again.
People
Thanks,
were
man.
saying, thank you for the review. People were saying, funniest shit I've ever seen. And actually, bro, someone drew a fan art of Animac as a pickle. So it was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Pickle
That-
Animac!
Pickle
Pickle
Mac!
Mac.
Pickle
And you
Mac.
can find that on my Twitter at AnimeApro where
Wow. All right.
Right there.
Next review. 1.5 million berry podcast, 5 stars. Can't wait for Animac to get to the Sanji versus Mihawk fight. Sanji going to avenge Zoro's death brought me to tears, but not as much as when Chopper killed Shanks.
That's a good one. That's a good one, yeah.
Man, imagine Chopper killed Shanks. They built
It's
Shanks
intense.
up as this legend, and Chopper's
This is so sad.
like, bro, I don't want to be on this boat by myself. It's creepy.
Next review. Lovely podcast, and the one thing that makes me excited for Tuesdays, 5 stars. Right after I listened to the episode of the One Piece Virgin podcast, I immediately started watching One Piece. Thank you, Briggs, Nux, and Animac with a K for giving me even more motivation to watch One Piece. I've never been more excited for Tuesday until now. So far, great podcast. Keep up the hard work, and remember to stay weird, fam. Next review. No one understands. The 5 stars, boys! Everyone talks about how no one understands Zolo, but in reality, no one understands the way Nux understands Zolo. True Mad Lad, deep psychology, epico.
Zolo is very hard to understand. Zoro is very simple.
Get out of here, Teching. No one understands Zoro. All right, next review. One Piece Virgin, 5 stars. I know and understand wholeheartedly that nobody understands Zoro. But I can't stand by and say nothing about the one true Mad Lad that is Bellamy. I need to speak for my people when I say that we need a No One Understands Bellamy video series. Oh, God. Oh, love the podcast, by the way. Keep it up.
If people have spring-legged hyenas, that's your people.
Bro.
Okay, appreciate the review, but I don't appreciate the Bellamy nonsense.
Bro, Bellamy's
And
amazing. Get out of here.
as the chat says, Pokemon is streaming Valorant, so we should...
Next review. Nuts and Bricks! 5 stars. And that's it.
That's a good review to end off with, actually.
That's
We'll continue
perfect.
next
I
week.
like that
Thank
one.
you.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. It's quick and to the point.
But you know what else is cool?
Nux and
Along with
Briggs.
Nux and Briggs?
Macantech!
Mechantech! Thank you guys for joining us. We're back again next week. Of course, on Thursdays, we do the Rank of Anime podcast, so join us for that as well. And yeah, we're on Twitch, twitch.tv/RankofA. We're on YouTube, Rank of Anime podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere. Check us out. Appreciate your support. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys!
Kaboom! Bang! 100 years,
yeah,
One Piece Virgin and Rat Cafe, 100 years.
100 years! All right, Briggs, let's play freaking Apex.
Let's go.